Hello everyone, welcome to Mark's Movies. It's been a while since I posted my last video. There's been a lot going on in my life and situation, but as you see, I'm also trying a few new things. I recently got a ring light for Christmas, so we're gonna go through this and see how this works. I'll be experimenting with this over the next couple of videos and seeing how I like it and where I like it best in my apartment. So as always, please like and subscribe. Also, as always, if you have a difference of opinion of something that I say, please feel free to say something in the comments below. Just don't be a jerk about it. I like a free conversation. I like fun conversation. I don't like people just being negative to be negative and saying negative things just to be a jerk. So there's no need for that. So today, it's going to be a pretty big list, so we're going to go through pretty fast. The list today is, I recently watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I enjoyed it. I'll probably be doing a review of it sometime soon. But it inspired me to talk about superhero movies outside of the Marvel or DC cinematic universes. So we're going to be doing a list today of the top 20 movies outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC Extended Universe. And those are including movies that are partially connected nowadays because they brought in like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and stuff, but their standalone movies are still fair game for this list. Now, I would like to give a shout out to two sets of movies that didn't quite make the cut. One of them was because they were almost superhero movies. They're based on graphic novels, but they're not quite superhero movies. You know what I mean? And that list includes the movie Time Cop from '94, 2005 Sin City, 2006's V for Vendetta, which is one of my absolute favorite movies that I watch every year, 2010 Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and of course 2015's Kingsman: The Secret Service. All of those movies are based on graphic novels, and all of them have concepts and ideas similar to like superhero movies, but I decided to not include any of them, but give them a shout out here because they are all fine movies that I enjoy. Another list are the ones that just barely didn't make the cut. So these movies include the likes of The Crow, also from '94, The Rocketeer from 1991, which I love, and it was the last one cut from this list, I'll be honest. Watchmen from 2009. This movie, every time I watched it, for the first like 4 times I watched it, it got better, but then it just sort of hit a level. I've heard that the director's cut is better, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But at the same time, there's a lot of good ideas and a lot of good concepts and a lot of awesome in this movie, but at the same time, it's just not one that I frequently want to return to and enjoy. And then last on the last off the list was Venom from 2018. So here we go. We're going to start the list. Well, like I said, 1 through 20, and I'm going to be doing this in order of release, though I will tell you which one of these is my favorite, and it shouldn't come as any surprise to anybody who is a friend of mine or a family member, because my favorite superhero is Spider-Man, so that should give a hint to come. Here we go. Number 1 on the list is Superman 2 from 1980. Now, I like Superman 2 better than the first one, mostly because, I mean, Kneel before Zod, right? Zod is introduced. Those characters are interesting, and it's like the opposing side of Superman. Superman is one of my least favorite superheroes. Sorry, Kurt, for that, but it's true. He is one of my least favorite superheroes. Mostly because, as they always joke about him, he's kind of like a Boy Scout, and he's kind of just like holier than thou, too good to be true, just too much a lot of times. So he's fine, but this is my favorite outing of any standalone Superman movie, including the DC Extended Universe's Man of Steel. I prefer this one over all of them. Number 2 is Batman from 1989. Now, Batman, on the other hand, I very much love. Batman is one of my favorite superheroes. He's second only to Spider-Man. He's got a great rogues gallery. He's got a great just concept based behind him, the whole vigilantism and the whole fear aspect of him not living up to his parents and all that other stuff. But in the end, in this movie, it is just the battle between Michael Keaton and, of course, Jack Nicholson. And it is truly epic. I love Batman. I love this movie. I love Tim Burton. No qualms about it. I love Batman. Number 3 on the list from 1990 is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This movie I almost forgot when I was first jotting down movies that could make this list. I almost forgot Ninja Turtles, and I can't believe I did, since I literally waited for an hour and a half in line to watch this movie with my brother when it first came out out in Hickory. I love this movie. I will always love this movie. Within the last 6 months, I watched this movie. That's how much I like it. Next, 1992, Batman Returns. It's a good sequel. It's not as good as the original one, but I do love Michelle Pfeiffer and I do love Danny DeVito, and both of them do an excellent job as the villains of this movie. And I say the villains because each of them have like an interesting aspect to their characters. And we all know that the real villain, of course, is Christopher Walken. Max, he's just devilish. He's just vile. And there's a reason that most of her 9 lives are wasted on taking him out. But I do enjoy Batman Returns. It is a very interesting and entertaining movie. It's weird, but it's fun, it's cool, and it's sexy, and it's awesome. I can't say enough. Love Batman Returns. Alright, number 5. This one should be... I shouldn't have to go into too much detail. It's Men in Black. I mean, it's just fighting the scum of the universe. You know what I mean? It's just Will Smith. It's just Tommy Lee Jones. They're great chemistry. Love this movie. Will always love this movie. It's the best of the 4 of them that have been released theatrically. It was better than the TV show. It is awesome. I love Men in Black. Number 8 on my... I skipped. Number 6 on my list is X-Men from 2000. Again, should go without saying. The cast is phenomenal, from Halle Berry all the way to Ray Park. The story is interesting. The characters are good. It's a nice introduction to the world. It will get better. Like, this movie is good, but it's just a stepping stone for better to come. And there are a couple of movies that I would put higher than X-Men. Number 7 from 2002 is Blade 2. Now, I know what you're probably saying. I know Blade 2 doesn't get as high of a rating on sites like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes as the original does. I like the original fine. I like Blade 2 better for multiple reasons. One, Guillermo del Toro is the man behind the director in the director's chair for that one. The fight sequences I like better in this one than I do in the first one. You don't have the burden of trying to introduce him and Whistler and all that in this world. And you get the benefit of having Ron Perlman, who I think makes everything better and should be in all things, or most things. I love Ron Perlman. I really do. All right, having said that, next, now we're at number 8. 2002 as well. We are now in Spider-Man. Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Need I say more? It speaks volumes to the fact that almost 20 years later, he reprised that role and reminded you of just how terrifying he is as the Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe is phenomenal, and he is brilliant in this movie. Everybody is great from top to bottom. I love Spider-Man. Anyway, I was so happy to see Spider-Man make it to the big screen, and in such a great way. Love this movie. Love Spider-Man. Number 9, 2003, X2. Superior to X-Men in every way. It is my favorite movie in the X-Men universe. There are 3 that come close. They're all 3 on this list, I might add. There are 3 that come close, but it is the best. It is my favorite of the X-Men universe. X2 is just thrilling and exciting in all the ways. You see Charles and Magneto have to join forces again to work together and try to set aside their differences and their disagreements for the good of the mutant kind. There's a lot of greatness in the movie, and then let's not forget the opening sequence, the attack on the president by Nightcrawler, a character who's fun and interesting and charming, but you get to see in the truly darkest moments of his personality and what his character can do, and it is awe-inspiring, literally. Number 10, 2004, we have Hellboy. Here's Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman. Again, I'd also need I say more. I love Guillermo del Toro, love Ron Perlman. This is such a weird, fun, interesting, exciting, thrilling. Did I say weird? I'm pretty sure I said weird. Just all around a fantastic, fun, awesome movie. Everybody from top to bottom is great in it. I love it so much that its sequel is coming up soon. Next is the best movie on this list. My favorite by far, also from 2004. We're talking Spider-Man 2. Everything the first Spider-Man did, made better. It is one of those sequels where you see that they took what they learned from the first movie and just made it better, kind of like Empire Strikes Back. Everything about this movie is better than the first one, and that's saying something when the first one was so good. Willem Dafoe is phenomenal, but you get an even more interesting and sympathetic villain in Dr. Octopus in this movie, and all around it's just, it's awesome. And then the train sequence, literally, need I say more? I don't. So I'm just going to continue. 2005, Constantine. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, and that's fine. Again, I'm assuming this is going to be one of those that y'all will mention down below. That's fine. I enjoy Constantine. I know Keanu Reeves isn't quite as Constantine as you want him to be, but I think he's pretty good. Like, the more I watch from like the Arrowverse and the cartoon versions of his personality that you meet in the DC Extended Universe in the animation side, I think he's fine. I don't think he's as dark and brooding and sarcastic as Keanu Reeves. I don't think he is as much as the character is, but I still like him as the character. And I'm excited if the rumors are true and there's going to be a sequel. All right, next, number 13, also from 2005, Sky High. I love this movie. Yeah, I know it's a Disney movie, blah, blah, get over it. I love this movie. It is funny, it is charming, it is fun, it is exciting, it is dark, it is interesting, it is weird at times. It brings back two of the members from Kids in the Hall. You got Mrs. John Travolta, Kelly Preston, and you got Kurt Russell. You got Bruce Campbell, of course. I mean, he's in the Spider-Man movies as well. I love this movie. I love Sky High. I will always love Sky High. And it's got Linda Carter as the principal. Come on, Wonder Woman. Love this movie. All right, next, number 14 is Hellboy 2. This, I would not say is a superior sequel. I would say it's equal. And it's one of the rare occurrences where I'm pretty sure they do things a little differently. You learn a little bit more about the characters, but on the whole, it's just as good as the first one. And so I can't not put it on the list. Next, 15. This one should need no description either. It's The Dark Knight. I mean, simple, easy, straightforward. It's The Dark Knight. 16. 2010's Kick-Ass. I love this movie. This was my introduction to Chloe Grace Moretz, to Aaron Taylor Johnson, but I'm fine with it. This movie has so much going for it. It's so badass. It's so cool. Mark Strong is a legend who would go on to be in so many other awesome movies. The Imitation Game, Shazam, John Carter, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the Kingsman movies. He's so good, but in this movie you get to see him just as a jackass, just as like a ruthless crime boss, and he is fantastic. Nicolas Cage's Big Daddy is equally fantastic. Love this movie. Again, another one I watched recently that I watch regularly because I love Kick-Ass so much. All right, number 17 from 2012. This one I just watched recently. It's called Dread. After the terrible 90s Sylvester Stallone version, I was apprehensive, even though I was told by countless fans, by people who love the source material, that this one's better. I finally watched it. It is better in every way, shape, or form than the Sylvester Stallone garbage. Karl Urban is incredible. I've loved him ever since he was Julius Caesar. He is fantastic. Olivia Thirlby from Juno, she's also great in this movie. And then you have Donald Gleason and Lena Headey. I do very much enjoy this movie. I did enjoy it a lot, and I'm sad that I waited so long to finally watch this movie. But it made the list because it's good. So I said X2 was the best X-Men movie. If I were to have any that would come close, one of the last three on this list would do it. These are the last three are in the X-Men world, and number 18 is Days of Future Past from 2014. Again, it's another one that doesn't really need explanation. It is the original, it is the first class cast rubbing shoulders with Professor X from the original X-Men series. And all of them are at the top of their game. Every last performance is phenomenal. The story has depth. The story is interesting. The story is exciting. Just like both sets of trilogies, if you look at the X-Men movies, they mirror each other quite well. The first one is good in both cases, X-Men and First Class. The second one is superior in every way, X2, Days of Future Past. And then the third one tries to do too much, X3, Last Stand, and, of course, Apocalypse. And don't get me started on Dark Phoenix. Just don't. But this movie is fantastic. It's exciting. The action is awesome. The story is great. The performances are all fantastic. I love Days of Future Past more than I love Deadpool, I'll be honest. But I do love Deadpool a lot, which is 2016 and number 19 on the list. Deadpool was exciting, was funny, was Ryan Reynolds proving that he could do Deadpool justice, because let's face it, X-Men Origins Wolverine ruined him. And Ryan Reynolds was like, look, I got this. I can do this. I got it. I promise. And he stuck that landing. And it was not a superhero landing, which is bad for your knees, I heard. It is just wonderful. I love Deadpool. It's so... that sequence when he's counting down the bullets he has left to get rid of the people on the bridge is still one of my favorite moments in a superhero movie in the last, decade almost. Because you just don't see it coming. He's like, let's count them down. Love it. All right, number 20, last on the list from 2017, Logan. Yes, I ended with 2 R-rated superhero movies too, and I'm hoping that more will follow and we'll get to experience more. But Logan is just great. I mean, it really is just a phenomenal movie all around. You get to see Berserker mode. You get to see Wolverine struggling with his gifts, aging, dying. The adamantium is slowly killing him. Charles Xavier's mind is losing grip on reality, which is causing a lot of problems. You get to fully see the strength of both of these two characters, and that is one heck of a last battle with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart. I love this movie. I love Logan. Another one that I've watched recently. All right, well, that's my list. Those are the 20. I hope you enjoy them. If you've not seen some of them, I hope it inspires you to go back and watch them. Please like and subscribe. Please comment below. Like I said, I like to start conversations. I want conversations. Don't just say, oh, I love this movie. Be like, well, what about this movie? Or, oh, The Rocketeer should have been on it, or whatever. Come up with something. As much as I love the Spider-Man movies, I will say so far I've been unimpressed with all of the spin-offs of the Spider-Man universe. Venom, the first one, was fine. Let There Be Carnage was okay, and even though my love of Woody Harrelson couldn't bring me to make that movie hot better than it was. It could have been better. It should have been better. And Morbius is god awful. There's a whole slew of them coming, so I'm hoping they're gonna do better, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, well, that's the list. Thank you for your time. I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoy the list, and please comment below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.